Hey, Kat.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All
Happy
right.
Monday.
Yes, happy Monday. I'm putting up a little background for this live because it's Monday. And Kat, you're in Studio DC, which is exciting.
I am. I got my coffee from Studio DC. It's beautiful over here. They have so many conference rooms with DC themed settings and backgrounds. So this is Cherry Blossom, the boat basin.
So pretty.
Yeah, and then we have like the Rock Creek Park, Mount Vernon,
Wow.
a bunch of other places. Oh, the Air and Space Room.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That sounds really cool.
it's
The New
nice.
York spaces didn't have that. And I'm actually not in a New York space today. I'm in a different space, hence the filters people, but I'll be back in the spaces. So I think we're just kind of taking turns just exploring what studio has to offer across where we are. So I'm really excited that Kat was able to get there today. And there are two more locations in the New York area that I still need to get to. There's one down in Soho, and then there's actually two more in the Midtown area that I just want to go check out. But it's just great to start, networking with them and collaborating and start using their space for what we're doing. So today we're going to jump right into our topic of the week. This is our 10th podcast. Hooray! And we're talking today about using FinTech as a contractor. What is FinTech?
Yeah, that's what my boss asked me at my last conference, which happened last week. So
Yeah.
actually, no, she knows what fintech is, but we were getting a lot of questions about what is fintech? What does fintech stand for? How do I use it? Is it a company? Is it a group? You know, those types of questions. And so we feel like myself and the woman I'm working with, that we should be providing some kind of educational class on what fintech is and how we can incorporate that into regular work or training for other individuals. So
It's a big topic.
what do we do with it?
What do we do with it? Well, first, let's define it. For those of you who do not know what FinTech stands for, where it comes from, what it is, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown, and then Kat's going to jump back in and add some more insight before we talk about why it's so important, even to freelancers and contractors. So first of all, FinTech is an acronym. It stands for financial technology. And financial technology is a technological innovation that aims to compete with modern day existing banking institutions, so your bank. And it competes with the traditional format of what banking is. So think old school checkbooks, money orders, Western Union, those types of institutions. FinTech is their competitor, and it's the innovations that we use today, actually every day, probably more than you even realize. You may be aware of how much you use FinTech, but there's more FinTech in your life than you think there is. So we want to break that down for you and try to help you guys get smart about how to make FinTech work even more seamlessly for you. So that's what FinTech stands for. That's what it is. And it basically is modern day innovative delivery of financial services that you would normally get from, like I said, not old, but more traditional institutions such as your bank, Western Union, the post office even. They've got money orders. So those are some more traditional means of conducting financial transactions versus what FinTech is. So you know what FinTech stands for, financial technology. And how it came about is that there was a need for more security, seamless transactions, convenience, most of all, and speed. And so FinTech has enabled the integration between physical and digital payments across platforms from multiple institutions, multiple accounts at the same time. PayPal is one of the biggest examples. Google Pay is also really popular. Apple Pay is also really popular. So
Venmo, Cash App.
Venmo, Cash App, if any of you are using those, that's FinTech. And so no one says financial technology. It's just FinTech.
No, but that's what we're trying to say, right? We
Yeah.
use these things all the time and we don't know what fintech is. So
Right.
it's like you have to know this is fintech. all of
Yeah.
those apps that are making your lives easier, making your transactions process faster and seamlessly.
Yeah.
That's FinTech.
That's FinTech. So the simple tap and go, for those of you who are in New York City, the DC area, or any major metropolitan city where you can tap and go on a transportation system, train, even tapping your boarding pass at the airport, that's technically part of FinTech. So that came about because you're able to buy your tickets online, you're able to book your reservations, you're able to buy these passes, and they had reloadable passes as a new innovation. So then the next step was, yes.
Yeah. So you got the chip, and then you got the
yeah, and
things.
so that looks like the Wi-Fi sign. If you guys remember when we first started using Wi-Fi everywhere around cities, not just in your homes, we would always see. Can you show the card again, Kat?
Oh yeah, there we go.
You would always see that, and that was the symbol that we all came to know as there's Wi-Fi here. So now that's on your banking cards, meaning you can tap and pay. Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all of that also have tap and pay features. So things like your boarding pass and tapping to check in to an event, to a concert, anything like that. Those came about as a next step from FinTech, because if you can purchase on your app, on your mobile phone, and you have the proof of purchase, why can't you also use it to just check in? So it's just another level. It's an added feature. They call them add-ons. And so that tap and go feature has continued to be built out into the most efficient process that we could think of today. And I'm sure it's going to get even more efficient. So on a single platform, you can usually do about 3 to 5 different things, either at the same time or simultaneously, meaning you can probably send a payment, request a payment, receive a payment, and transfer monies to your bank. You can also probably check in, add a reservation, load that into your wallet on your phone. So the wallet on your phone looks like this. See that? Okay, probably on Zoom you can't, but so this wallet is specific to Apple, but if you have an Android phone, you also have a mobile support app that allows you to store different things like boarding passes, your cards, your cash apps, other things like that, where they show up as card features onto your app, and you can tap and go from that or press the side button. So that's basically FinTech in your everyday life that you're using constantly, and we're just going to start breaking that down. So that's on a daily basis. Now that transfers into your business because that's where it started. The idea of FinTech initially was, the idea was for consumers, but it started on a business level, making it easier for businesses to do basic things like their taxes and bookkeeping. So that brings us to Intuit, QuickBooks, and there's all kinds of different levels within that platform where you can do more than 3 to 5 things at the same time. There are other things like an H&R Block has jumped on that. Nowadays, pretty much every tax or bookkeeping platform is FinTech based, where it's not just someone on the other end who receives your documents via email or mail. It's all being done seamlessly on a platform. And sometimes you don't even need to interact with the person who's handling your documents on the other end, or you're managing it yourself. So FinTech has also brought a level of independence to contractors, freelancers, business owners, and large corporations, so that they can do more things in-house and have better control and better compliance and security over their own books.
Right, and the security part, they include that 2-factor authentication,
Yes.
Which is, that's super recent, and that helps the contractors make sure that they abide with the security laws and everything like that. They use that in TurboTax, for example, very, very popular tax act. And the FinTech technology is used to also within transferring that information from your provider to the IRS. You were talking about taxes, so that whole transmission portion works.
I can show you that. I'm going to pull up TurboTax while Pat's talking about that, so you guys can see that.
Yeah.
I use QuickBooks self-employed myself, and I also tied into QuickBooks Business. So along the lines of what Kat is saying, within things like H&R Block, Intuit, QuickBooks, TurboTax, you have different levels. You have levels that are more appropriate for just someone who's a single contractor, individual freelancer, gig worker for the gig economy. You also have the next level up, which is for small business, and then you have enterprise level. So the different levels of what you can utilize in the app. I just want to show you guys. So when you open your dashboard, this is what it looks like. And you can easily add in invoices and receipts.
Yeah, and that's super useful. Everything in one place.
Yes, one place. And then you can add in mileage for those of you who drive.
And for contractors, you do per diem and the travel, the gas, the mileage and stuff like that, like you were just saying.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
Then there's the tax page. So I do everything: invoicing, sending invoices, receiving invoices, taxes from this app, loaded into my computer, and voila.
Yeah. And when you are selling products, for example, some of the website hosts will have a setting where they're utilizing a FinTech company to calculate the different taxes that are in different states for you. If you need to ship the.
It also reminds you of the deadlines in those states and federal deadlines.
Yes, and any changes that happen to those laws. So FinTech is everywhere. And also there's an app called Truebill. There's an app called Clio. Those are different types of FinTech technology uses where they go through your accounts and they check for any outstanding bills, subscriptions, or things that you are paying for that you don't even know that you're paying for. So that is a useful technology where you're going to save money once you let this app do its work. Both of these apps do its work. Clio will show you what you're spending monthly, where you're spending it, and it also talks back to you through Messenger. It praises you. It praises.
Intuit does not talk back to you.
No, this is on the phone. It has like a message feature. It says, great job. You spent less on takeout this month. Good job. So
that's nice.
And then it'll tell you, okay, you're saving here and there. Oh, someone tried to get into your Amazon account. This is the transaction that they were trying to handle, but already Amazon would have already notified you of that as well. But so this app also tracks those types of situations, literally everything. So go ahead.
Wait, pause there.
Yeah.
Huge FinTech platform.
Yeah.
Service and delivery, financial transactions, merchant services, FinTech. Your e-commerce, FinTech. That was a
no,
plug.
But they're huge. They're exactly what people should look at as an example of a FinTech company and their applications. So Amazon has built a brilliant business model, and other companies are trying to mimic that model as best as they can. So
like Etsy or
Shopify.
Who else? eBay is actually starting to mirror Amazon a little bit more than they did before. But the whole it goes beyond being just a consumer. You have the merchant side of it, the business side of it as well. I think nowadays the reason we wanted to bring this to you guys is because we think of FinTech, what we do think of it from a consumer standpoint, but there's a lot on the business side that we may or may not be looking at as advantages for everything we're doing as contractors, as freelancers, as business owners. So we wanted to bring that to you guys because there's so much more to FinTech, and really understanding what it is and how it can help your life be easier, more efficient, more cohesive, more streamlined as a business owner, as a freelancer. It's only to your advantage. So
it saves you time. It saves you, I would say it saves you money in the long run when you're trying to get processes in place that will take other steps away. Because right now, if you're not using any of these apps that we're talking about, if you're just doing traditional invoicing and then collecting checks, which I know a lot of people do, then you have a lot of work. You have a lot of tracking, manual tracking that you need to do. And that goes back to what Maria was saying about traditional banking structures and how that is so in the past in a way, where they're falling behind if they're not implementing fintech technology.
Yeah.
So would Zelle be considered fintech technology?
Then that's a great point. So banks are doing their job by keeping up with the trends and modern society by instituting options like Zelle. So Citibank, every bank participates in Zelle, but each bank, like Citibank, Chase, Capital One, TD Bank, they have their own internal transfer capabilities where you can do financial transactions just from, say, their mobile app. I use TD Bank, so just from their mobile app, there are a host of features just within the app to manage your money, manage how you're receiving money, manage where your money is going, to even request money. So some of the same features that we mentioned that are common in PayPal. PayPal, you guys are familiar with PayPal. It's you have all of these options. They're credit options for getting lines of credit. They're invoicing options for sending and receiving invoices. And sorry, people on the LinkedIn side can't really see that, but we'll screenshot it later. That's what happens when you put up a filter. It's like everything becomes filtered. So they're keeping up with it in that way, but what it does for you is it helps you figure out where your money is coming from. What happens when you're getting paid? What happens when you finish a contract? You do a job on a contract, and say you're on a contract or you have an agreement, an ongoing agreement with a client, and you don't just receive one lump payment, you receive several payments. How are you keeping track of that? What's happening to the money? Are you paying people from that? Are you paying your taxes on a quarterly basis from that? How are you managing your books? Are you solely relying on someone else? Because even if you are, there's no reason with fintech for you not to know every step of the way where your money is going and coming from. And these apps are exactly that. So one of the other advantages specific to business owners, freelancers, those working in the gig economy is the transparency of your money. Not just putting it in a bank and not knowing. In the same way that we can trade on the stock market today from our mobile phone, which is another example of fintech, investing, creating an investment portfolio for yourself, creating a retirement portfolio for yourself from your phone. You can also manage your money, that's not being put into savings or investments, and knowing exactly what's happening. For example, this app called Clio, which I'm going to check out later, it speaks to you, even if you don't want the audible feature. Even if you don't want that, just having the visuals, like being able to track it. If you are sending your taxes to an accountant, or you do have an account manager, or you have someone who's helping you with your money, or you have an investment portfolio manager, you still want to know what they're doing. And nowadays it's easier than ever to know exactly what's happening with your money at all times. So what fintech has done for us is it's taken the curtain down. There's no reason to not know what's going on with your money unless someone's hiding it from you, or unless you are just not looking.
You have more visibility on everything.
Yes. So you can be more in control of those who are managing your money for you if that's happening, which a lot of us have. We need that extra help just for time's sake, but still we can be involved in the process through fintech. And so that ability to have more say power, to have more understanding of money and learning how to deal with money, because a lot of us aren't taught how to deal with money. Even if we go all the way up to a PhD level, we don't receive those little nuggets of wisdom unless we get it from someone or we learn the hard way. So
I also think that it eliminates or decreases the risk for error, human error. It definitely helps make sure that everything is tracked and automated. So that's another feature, automation. When it comes to fintech, you can set everything up to happen monthly, weekly, whatever you need to do. When it comes to having a person handle it, and I'm not taking jobs away from people. We need people.
So fintech is a huge industry that's added jobs. So those of you out there that believe that automated systems eliminate human beings, No, we're not there.
No,
We're not there with
humans,
robots aren't
humans are
taking over.
humans are controlling the automation systems, and the automation system itself is what is helping you make sure that there are no errors being made, or at least decreased percentage wise, based on what a person could do, because a person can actually make a lot of errors or put the wrong the decimal might go somewhere where it's not supposed to, and then you're gonna have to deal with the IRS. So yeah, we don't want that.
No.
There's a lot of options with FinTech, and they also provide cashback opportunities too. Like we were going back to the bank
PayPal does that a
stuff,
lot. So do your bank cards. Most
incentives.
banks have, their incentives to use more of their services.
Yeah, it's super useful. So FinTech is all around us, everywhere you go. And I wonder what are we missing as far as FinTech? I feel like there's so many companies out there. We're not naming everything.
No, we're not. And that would take forever. And so we try not to talk for hours and hours. We do try to like keep things brief just to whet your palate. And so, have an idea of what we're talking about, and some of these topics will revisit. So maybe we'll do a FinTech podcast part 2.
Yeah. And also when you're traveling, this technology is very helpful because it also converts currencies for you automatically. You don't have to deal with going to what is that place called? Customs? Where do you get the currency exchange?
Oh, the currency exchange?
Currency exchange.
Everyone has to go to customs.
Yeah, ask them for money.
Across the border, everyone has to go through customs.
Well, it's in the travel topic, so it's there. So yeah, currency exchange, and you know that they upcharge everything. So
yes, oh my gosh.
And if
I have the funniest currency exchange story. Can I drop that?
Yeah, do it.
So I was in your country. I was in Poland.
What happened?
I'm in Poland and I was going to an event there. The event's over, and so I decided to stay a couple extra days just to see Poland. I actually took a bus from Warsaw to Krakow, which was fun. And then I took a train back so I wanted to like do some sightseeing, and just a little travel plug. Taking a train or a bus around the country is the best way to sightsee unless you want to drive. But it's really great. A lot of people like to fly from one city to the other, but I think if you're trying to discover something new and really get to know the culture and be with the people, get on the transport, get on the train. So I did that. I get to Krakow. I've run out of cash, and a lot of the vendors only take cash, especially like when there's like a street event. So there was like a big festival. I don't remember the name because I have no idea what's happening. But I just like walked into it, which is typical me. Like I will just walk into like a situation and be like, oh, let's check it out. Like let's discover something. So because it was a festival, most of the businesses were closed. It was, I think it might have been a holiday. So I'm walking around the main square of so there's like a central plaza it's like the inner part of the city. And it's a central plaza, a huge tourist area, but there's like inner square. And then there's all of these beautiful statues and tons of shops and tons of activities going on at the same time. And then usually there are a bunch of currency exchanges that are open. Only 2 were open. So I go to the first one and I ask what the rate is, and they tell me the rate and say, okay, I'm going to come back out. So I go to the next one and she tells me a rate that's double. And so I said, well, because the other guy said that he would give it to me for blah, blah, blah. And she laughed. She was like, oh, okay. So you ask around. Okay. I go down for you.
Wow.
I was like, okay, you'll drop the price for me? She goes, yes, just for you.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, how much will you drop it for me? So I started negotiating. We literally had a negotiation on this price, a fee on top of whatever amount that I was trying to exchange. So it's the fee that they take for themselves.
Did she go down below the other guy?
But since we were negotiating, I was like, well, let me see how far down you go. And then she went a little bit further down than she wanted to. And I remember her being like, no, oops, I don't need to. I think so. I ended up paying her. So the other guy was quoting, it would have been, I needed like a lot of cash on hand. That's one thing about like traveling in Europe. It's not similar to American where like everything could be with cards. If you want to do like local events or festivals, it's better to have a lot of cash on hand. Not a whole lot, but like at least 100 euros. I wouldn't walk around with less than that because like by the time you eat through the day and it's like that would be the bare minimum. So I'm trying to get at least that. I was trying to get like 150 to carry me for like 2 days. And I remember it was going to be 50 on top of that at least, like from either one of them. So I was like, if I could get below that, but then I actually felt bad at one point. I don't know why, but like it sends you through this whole emotional tirade negotiating with currency exchange people sometimes. So you're just like, why? Why? This is not even, this is like extra. This is your money. I'm paying you. Why? but so I think I ended up paying like, I ended up giving her 210 and like I got 150 euros back. It was crazy. I don't remember. That doesn't sound accurate. I know that I paid her more than I wanted to, but I did get her to bargain down. I mean, I remember she was like doubling the price. It was so funny. This is like 3 years ago. So crazy.
Yeah.
But I just remember her laughing, like, oh, so
like, oh, you're smart. You're a smart one. You ask questions.
It was just so funny that she like actually allowed herself to get on. And I was standing there like shocked. It's like, wait, let me put on my poker face because I'm really trying to hustle here. I really don't want to end up paying like $300 just to get 100 euros.
No, but that is a great point. Maybe not like everything that we should probably do a travel podcast. That would be good. But it's a good point, make sure you're negotiating and paying attention and asking questions, because if you didn't ask that question, then you wouldn't have known. And these people will try to make the extra buck and you want to be smart.
And that is their job. So
yeah, it is.
It's not against them, but that's their hustle too. Just like, we want to do whatever we're doing. We're there to spend money. So
yeah, but if you get hustled by every single person, then you're going to be out of money. So at least, limit the hustling. I mean, limit them attacking you and taking
but
your
don't
money.
get angry with them. Just understand that that's their jam. Like that's their gig. You have your job, they have their job, and they're just doing it. But sometimes they are very aggressive and you will have some funny stories. So this was one of my favorite travel stories, actually, that whole trip. And I only spent a couple of days in Krakow because I had spent so much time in Warsaw, and great stories. Like I could go on forever. I had such a good time. So that little incident was worth it because it's a funny story for me now, even though I can't remember all the details, but it was funny.
So
next time you're coming with me, so that
I
don't speak Polish.
No, I'm coming with you. I'm bringing Angie. Angie hasn't been to Poland yet.
No,
she has to go.
Yeah,
so that'd be great. What else did I want to add to the travel part? Oh, the travel. So when you're leaving the state, for example, with FinTech, FinTech technology helps you make sure you notify your bank and about your cards that you're traveling across the border. So that's another extra added security layer there.
Even if you're going out of state, actually. In the US, even going to another state, just do it.
Yeah, it's helpful because otherwise they may lock your card. So if you notify the bank ahead of time, I'll be out for like 5 days or something, and I'll be in Alabama or California, then you're fine. You're okay. And you just do it on your app. You don't even have to call anybody, and they just want you to click a button. If you're going to a different country, you do exactly the same process. They ask you what state or what country you're going to, and they're aware. So your card will not be locked out. And they do the auto currency exchange if you are paying by card overseas. So like Maria was saying, cash would be better in certain instances, the little shops or markets and stuff like that. And tipping people. People prefer cash when you're tipping overseas rather than paying by card. In fact, some people might find it offensive if you're paying by card. They're not getting all
It
that
depends on
money.
where you're going. Yeah, it depends on where you're going. Those are good things to know. But I mean, I think delving into the realm of fintech, it makes you really think about its role in the world at large because it's not the same everywhere. And even what you mentioned about the travel alerts, I still have to call TD Bank. They're changing that now, but you know, I can't do that from my app. So whatever bank you are with that allows you to go to your
Like Bank
app.
of America or
Bank of America.
USAA.
That's super convenient. I know Capital One and TD Bank, I cannot just touch a button on my app or like put in an alert. I have to call them. So those are differences. Those are major banks, just like USA and Bank of America, but they have different things. So, you know, this isn't a dig on them, but it's just.
No, but I'm sure they're implementing a lot of things in there. And I don't know if anybody's seen the latest Capital One commercial with, what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson. And he's in the kitchen and this girl's looking for something online to get a coupon or whatever. And he just pops in, hey, whatever. And so that commercial is about, Capital One finding automatic discounts by doing a search for what you are looking for. So they're already scouting stuff. Capital One acquired a company in order to be able to do this. So they acquired a technology company to do the search online for them. And they created a whole commercial. And so now Capital One has an extra advantage over other banks
and it really does save you money. I can say that myself.
yeah. So it was worth it for them to do that because normally we're doing it the old-fashioned way, going to old-fashioned way, right? Google search, look at coupon discounts and stuff, and then with
Groupon, remember Groupon?
Groupon, right? And so this company that Capital One acquired, it's just doing it automatically. Which is amazing. And that's the benefit and that's the beauty of fintech companies. They are embedded into our regular daily lives and we fail to appreciate it sometimes. But now that you guys are more aware of what fintech is and how fintech influences your daily life, you're probably going to be more on the lookout for specific applications that may cut some steps out of your regular processes. Make things more convenient for you because nobody has time. We have no time.
No time for this. Yeah, and also just it allows you to be more in control of your life, your business, yourself, and that's what it's all about at the end. You know, as much as we need our teams and we need our people there to help us, you still want to know what's going on. You don't want to be blindsided. And in 2021, why? There's so many resources to just be in the know, even if that's all you're doing is just being in the know. And you let everyone else handle what you need handled. Just knowing is really important too.
Right. You get alerts right away. Oh, I did not purchase this. Like it literally comes through on your phone from the app. You turn off the card and then you check what's going on. The simple conveniences and I love it so much.
I actually had to do that with PayPal the other day. So PayPal has a master debit card for business. It's cool. They also have a pay on your phone feature app where you can plug in it's like the square from the company store. You plug it into your phone and someone can swipe and make a transaction with you so they can purchase it. Vendors use it a lot. If they're using it just plugs into their phone and their iPad and that's really convenient. So they also have the debit card. So, you know, there was a little incident. It was like PayPal. That wasn't me. And they were like, okay. Did the investigation, cleared it up, but they had to send me a new card. So, but I did all of that from my mobile phone. I really didn't talk to them,
which is great. So simple and convenient, and you didn't have to worry about somebody just blasting your card to pieces.
Right, exactly. And you know, a lot of these fintech apps, a lot of these platforms are very communicative, whether it's through automation initially, and then you receive a follow-up email from a person. So there goes back to our.
Did they integrate really well?
They integrate really well, and there's always someone, an actual individual involved. So it's not all bots. It's not, people are losing jobs to technology. No, it's people have more ways of being part of the industry, i.e. being part of the customer service, being part of the compliance, being part of the claims department. So someone eventually got back to me with an email just following up, hey, I saw this claim that you put through on your PayPal app, and thank you for doing it through the app. Your card's been sent out, your other card has been deactivated. They gave me steps to follow to make sure that no other transactions were going to be made on the card, which is usually just cut the card out, make sure you destroy it, even though it's already deactivated. And then, double check that you don't have money coming directly from the card. So that's one thing that banks nowadays are very good at, as far as when they are replacing cards or doing any kind of compliance follow-up or any kind of claims with you, just giving you steps to prevent it from happening again. Like cutting up your card, because although a transaction may come out of your account, if it's coming directly from your card, then those transactions will not go through. So little things like that, where it's like understanding what happens next. Like, now that this happened, we have some kind of resolution. Where do things stand now? So all of those little steps, it was very informative about that, and just kind of helps you be part of the process instead of being like, I don't know what happened. I need somebody to like fix it. I don't know what's going on. You can actually be part of the process and really understand what's going on, even though you have someone helping you with it, their claims department specifically. That's it.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. I'm really happy with it. We've come so far. Things have changed so much in the past 10 years, 5 years. And I wonder what it's going to look like 5 years from now. And it might involve Bitcoin or other type of electronic coin currency.
How many of you out there have an Ether wallet?
What is an Ether wallet?
What is that? Part two.
I had somebody ask me the other day, and this is a younger person, a millennial person. What is an Ethernet cable? Why do I need an Ethernet cable? So yeah, they wouldn't know what an Ether wallet is either.
Well, cryptocurrency would be cryptocurrency, and business investments could be another good topic to talk about.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
We'll get back to FinTech. We're going to keep
and
going.
Yes, Dogecoin to the moon.
That's good. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. For my end, that's all I had for you guys. What about you, Kat? Any more plugs? Any more insights?
No, I think we covered a lot. I feel like we've educated ourselves and everybody else.
Yes, Clio. I gotta go check that out. I never heard of Clio.
Yeah, and Truebill too.
Truebill is invoicing transactions.
Truebill kind of works similar to Clio. It's just a different version of it. So Clio is more social, where it messages you back and has a personality. Truebill is more like, yes, this is what's going on. Yeah, true.
Okay. Well, there you go. So we will be back next week with a new surprise topic. We'll let you guys know in the announcements. But thanks for watching. Please share this with everybody. Bring people along, send it out, and let us know if you have anything that you want us to talk about.
Definitely. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.